The international break will leave Graham Potter with very few senior Chelsea players to work with at Cobham in the days ahead, meaning the likes of Kepa Arrizabalaga have a chance to impress. The first team building at Chelsea's training base in Cobham will be quiet in the days ahead. And while that will enable Graham Potter to firmly settle into his new surroundings, the new Blues head coach would have undoubtedly preferred further time on the training pitches to work with his squad. Unfortunately for Potter, the majority of Chelsea's senior players, and countless members of their youth sides, will be traveling around the world to represent their respective national teams. It is the last pause in the club football calendar before the Qatar World Cup, which begins on November 20th. A small bonus is the Chelsea stars who usually undertake long-haul flights across the globe, think Thiago Silva and Christian Pulisic, are set to remain in Europe. Both of the friendlies that will be played by Brazil take place in France, while the USMNT are set for action in Germany and then Spain. There will be only a handful of first-team players who continue to train at Cobham in the coming week, and the majority of those will hope to catch the eye of Potter ahead of what will be an intense October in which Chelsea are scheduled to play 9 matches across all competitions. So here is who remains at Chelsea during the international break. N'Golo Kante. It was during the second game of Chelsea's season, the spiky 2-2 draw against Tottenham Hotspur at Stamford Bridge, that Kante limped off with a hamstring injury. The Frenchman hasn't featured since and was not called up by France head coach Didier Deschamps for their Nations League fixtures. That will enable Kante to continue his recovery work during the international break. The 31-year-old was back out on the grass at Cobham last week and will be carefully pushed by the Chelsea coaches. Whether he will be able to return against Palace is an unknown, although history suggests he will have to be eased back in no matter what. Kepa Arrizabalaga. 3 years ago, Kepa was Spain's #1 goalkeeper. Yet much has changed since that point. The 27-year-old endured a hugely difficult spell under Frank Lampard in which his confidence was eroded and Edouard Mendy was signed from Rennes as a replacement. Kepa has had to stay patient and play the role of deputy over the past 3 seasons, but he did feature in Potter's opening match in charge, the 1-1 draw against FC Salzburg in the Champions League. That was partly because Mendy was ruled out with a knee injury, although it hasn't stopped him from being called up by Senegal. With Mendy away from the squad, albeit temporarily, Kepa has an opportunity to develop an understanding of Potter's approach and build a relationship with the new Chelsea head coach. It will be intriguing to see who starts in goal at Selhurst Park in less than a fortnight's time. Marc Cucurella. Signed in the summer from Brighton in a deal worth £62 million, Cucurella is the Chelsea player Potter knows inside out. However, they will get further time together during the international break after the 24-year-old was overlooked for the Spain squad by Luis Enrique. Cucurella has quickly established himself as a regular starter since arriving at Stamford Bridge, usurping Ben Chilwell at left wingback but also playing as left centre-back in Potter's first game in charge. Unless anything dramatic happens, it's a safe assumption that the big-haired defender starts against Crystal Palace. Trevoh Chalobah. Chalobah has only featured once in the Blues' opening 7 fixtures. He started on the right of the back 3 in the 2-1 victory over West Ham United. For Potter's opening fixture in charge, the 23-year-old was again named among the substitutes. There was strong loan interest in Chalobah from clubs across Europe toward the end of the summer transfer window. We understands that remains with many sides continuing to monitor the centre-back situation at Stamford Bridge. But the international break offers Chalobah a chance to work closely with Potter and his staff and force his way into their thinking for the clash at Selhurst Park.